In an ancient forest, a helpless deer was about to lose its life. Hunters surrounded it from every side, and no one dared to help. But then, one calm man stepped forward. That man was Gautama Buddha. And what he did next changed everyone forever.
Long ago, near a peaceful village in ancient city, there was a beautiful green forest filled with birds, rivers, and wild animals. Among all the animals in the forest, there was a golden deer named Chandra. Chandra was gentle, innocent, and kind. Every morning, he helped weaker animals find water during hot days. Even the birds trusted him. But outside the forest, a cruel hunter named Viraj lived nearby. Viraj hunted animals every single day. He believed that power came from fear. People in the village feared him, and the animals feared him even more. One morning, Viraj entered the forest with bows, arrows, and hunting dogs. The peaceful forest suddenly turned silent. Birds flew away. Monkeys hid in trees. The deer began running in fear. Chandra ran as fast as he could, jumping over rocks, crossing streams, trying desperately to survive. But soon, he reached the edge of a cliff. There was nowhere left to run. The hunter slowly pulled back his bowstring. The arrow pointed directly at Chandra's heart. The frightened deer closed his eyes. And then, a calm voice echoed through the forest. "Stop!" The hunter turned around angrily.
A peaceful monk wearing simple robes stood there quietly. It was Gautama Buddha. His face was calm, but his eyes were filled with compassion. Viraj laughed mockingly. "This is just an animal," he said. "Why are you protecting it?" Buddha slowly walked toward the trembling deer. Then he gently placed his hand on Chandra's head. "This animal feels fear, just like you," Buddha replied softly. "It wants to live, just like you." The hunter frowned. "But humans are more important than animals," Viraj argued. Buddha looked at him peacefully and said, "True strength is not shown by taking life. True strength is shown by protecting it." The forest became completely silent. Even the wind seemed to stop. Viraj lowered his bow slightly, but his anger still remained.
"This deer is weak," he said. "In this world, the weak always suffer." Buddha smiled gently. "One day," he said, "every strong person becomes weak, and every living being depends on kindness." The words hit the hunter deeply. For the first time in years, Viraj looked into the eyes of an animal closely. He saw fear, pain, and the desperate wish to live. Suddenly, he remembered something he had forgotten long ago. When he was a child, he once rescued an injured bird. Back then, he had felt happiness through kindness. But years of anger and cruelty had changed him. His hands slowly began to shake. The bow slipped from his fingers and fell onto the ground. The deer stepped closer to Buddha, still trembling. Viraj looked down with tears forming in his eyes. "What have I become?" he whispered. Buddha stepped closer and said gently,
No person is born cruel. Hatred grows when compassion disappears. The hunter fell to his knees. For the first time in his life, he cried. Not because he was weak, but because his heart had finally awakened. Buddha helped him stand up. Then something unbelievable happened. The frightened deer slowly walked toward Viraj. Instead of running away, Chandra gently touched the hunter's hand with his nose. The hunter broke down completely. The animal he wanted to kill was showing him forgiveness. At that moment, Viraj understood the greatest lesson of his life. Compassion is more powerful than violence. From that day onward, Viraj never hunted again. Instead, he began protecting the forest and caring for injured animals. The villagers were shocked by his transformation. Years later, people would tell stories about the hunter whose heart changed because of one peaceful moment in the forest. And deep inside that same forest, the golden deer continued living freely under the sunlight. Safe, because one man chose compassion over cruelty. Before hurting someone weaker than you, remember this. Every living being feels pain. Every heart wants peace. And true greatness is not in power. It is in kindness. Sometimes saving one life can save an entire soul.